Okay, this is this is gonna be a short video, and we're gonna quickly talk about Azerite pieces in PvP and Mythic Plus, and why the current system is stupid. So right now, the best shoulders for Priest are the Dread Gladiator's shoulders, because they have Battlefield Focus on, which is really good for Disc Priests. But the only way you can get these shoulders is from the chest that you get to open once a week that can contain any PvP item. So the odds of you actually getting them are slim to none. And I'm all for Azerite pieces. I think it's a cool new design direction. I like the fact that there's loads of different traits you can choose and ways to customize your character. I think that's great. And I'm actually really enjoying it. What I'm not enjoying is the fact that some traits are exclusive to one item that is entirely RNG off a chest. When they have a perfect system for dealing with this, which is the Conquest cap. Which, by the way, why is it capping out at 355? It's obsolete after the first week. Everything you get from it is completely useless. Unless you get some random ass Titan Forge, you're never getting anything from this. What I assumed was going to happen, which actually hasn't happened, was that this would cycle through each Azerite piece twice, so that you can get the two variants. Because it's basically a line, right? And when you do your catch up, you can just get all the items in a line up to the current whatever everyone's on. So I was figuring, I figured it would be, you get your head, then you get your shoulders, and you get your chest, and then you get the other head, other shoulders, other chest, whatever. And then that's it. You got all 6 Azerite pieces for your class, and then it can go on to do, I don't know, weapon, whatever, and other pieces from there on. So it's just leaving aside the issue that the item level is low, which is questionable when you consider just getting drops at 2-4. This should be equally scaled to the same level your drops are. But aside from that, this would completely remove the RNG of getting your Azerite gear, some of which is pretty mandatory in terms of power and exclusivity. So that would be really nice to see, and I think it would be a really good addition to the Conquest cap. And then even if you get a lower piece early on, you can get one of these later, which I'm fine with these being RNG. When you get one of these, it's cool. You save it, you use it on a good item. So then if you did get your Azerite pieces when you were lower rating and they're lower eye level, you just whack one of these on it and it's straight to the max level, sorted. You don't need to keep cycling through the Azerite pieces then. And then you can keep your RNG chest for a bonus or whatever at the end of the week. That's fine, but at least give some sort of concrete way of getting your pieces that only exist, the traits that only exist on this one piece. So I have a similar gripe with the helm, this bad boy. I've actually gotten lucky. Well, I was rudely interrupted. I've actually got quite lucky and gotten this the first week. Had I not, on my other 2 characters, I haven't gotten it. And this drops from the quest from Warfronts. You can farm a 340 version, but this one is from the quest, which you can only do once per Warfront. And while I'm fine with there being an RNG element to gearing, when the gear pieces have things like these traits on, which are so impactful, and customize your class so much, I don't agree with there being as much randomness in how you obtain those. I think they're not so much items, they're like a hybrid between your talent tree and items. So, it's an MMO, right? There's going to be randomness in item drops. Like, I'm fine with that. I completely embrace that. That's cool and all. But when you're gonna start hybriding your items, and putting certain items with only that item with the trait on, then I think you need to be really careful with how you approach the subject of RNG. And I think in this case, a lot of people are getting slightly frustrated. But yeah, that's just my take on it. I mean, maybe people like trying to do Warfronts 10 weeks in a row and not getting the piece they want. I don't know. But yeah, I think I'd say at least in this case, Warfronts, leave them as they are, but at least allow this trait to be picked up on the PvP arm. And then if they're gonna do if they're gonna address the issue of PvP RNG-ness, RNG gearing, even, then you have an option there. So the Azerite system, I think, is something that's really good, but just shouldn't be on items. And I think they almost had the right idea with the whole artifact talent tree. It was just like they had regular talent tree, the artifact talent tree, the PvP talent tree is too much. So I say keep the PvP talents as they are. Maybe add another one. Some classes have a few too many options. Maybe add some more options if you're going to add another slot. Remove this bad boy. Keep this, but make it an actual trinket so you don't have your issues with PvE trinkets in PvP. Done. Remove this. Remove this. You tried it. It didn't work. It's not fun to play with or against. It's not interactive. It's just passive. No decision making required other than selecting the talent. There's nothing enjoyable about that. Then you add a BM trinket here, an on-use trinket like this, and a proc trinket like this. And you choose between that here. And then you have your 4 slots here that you then switch up in-game. Then you have your regular talent tree that looks nothing like this, but doesn't look like your old talent tree either. Like people are enjoying war mode right now because they get to use actually more stuff. People are yearning for more stuff on their characters. It's gotten to a point where people are actually finding the class design to be the worst part of the game. The content, great. Everyone's loving it. There's just a few issues, and I think class design really needs to get its act together. And I think that could start with a revamped talent tree, maybe for next expansion. And then maybe combine the Azerite idea with the talent tree, get some more things on there that modify your spells that are actually interactive, engaging, fun to play with, fun to play against. Remove a lot of these passes. Like, look, this is boring. Like, what if this was instead, when you press this talent or you pick up this talent, you get a spell and you press the spell and it's a 2-minute cooldown or something. And when you press that spell, targets with atonement take 15%, 20% less damage, whatever. And then you have that option. Or you have another option, which is PS. Or you have another option, which is Barrier, which also needs to be revamped, by the way. But let's not get into all that right now. Going down the rabbit holes for another video. My point is the Azerite system is great. They shouldn't let it go to waste, but also it shouldn't be on items. Because, yes, items still need to be random, but you do need these traits. So it's kind of a hard problem to solve, I'd say. And I don't envy the position Blizzard's in, because I think there's going to be a lot of people and a lot of crying when they don't get their 1 in 14 or whatever it is drop from Warfronts. That's the only source of the item in the game. For 2 months in a row, people are going to be mad. But yeah, that's just my take on it. I think there's a lot of potential there, and I really think Blizzard's onto the right track. They just need to figure out where to take it.